If you guys are watching this channel and you're into men's physique, you have found the right channel. This is the #1 men's physique channel in the world. I almost have 100,000 of you guys that have subscribed, that love men's physique, that are excited for the 2024 season. And I'm happy to bring you guys some updates. I hope you had a fantastic weekend, but let's hop in today's video. Let's go. If you were with me last week, we talked about the Japan Pro, but more specifically, something happened that was almost unheard of. I guarantee you there won't be another guy this year in the 2024 season that will be an amateur, win the amateur event at the show, and then hop into the pro show and win. Last week, we covered the Japan Pro. We covered IFBB Pro YS and Olympian being defeated by pretty much, I mean, he's a pro now, but pretty much, guys, and I have to say it because it felt like this. YS got beat by an amateur, Joe Uezato, out of Japan. Now Joe's a pro. Now Joe's going to the Mr. Olympia. You guys know all this, but taking a closer look at this matchup, it was a lot closer than I thought. I mean, this is why I'm not a judge. This is why it's so hard to be a judge. I mean, it's a subjective sport. So you as a judge, you are personally giving your feelings about what you think is best, the conditioning, the symmetry, the different body parts, the size, the stage presence. Everything adds up when you're a judge and you're judging these guys. And look at this. From the front, this is hard, boys. This is a hard call to make. Who would you give it to? The South Korean in the pink or the Japan native in the red? And when I'm looking at this first glance, man, like, I really like IFBB Pro YS. I want to go back to this show because, damn, this was fucking close. South Korean, tremendous shoulders and arms. Vascularity looks good. He looks full. He looks conditioned. If I'm looking at the waist of IFBB Pro YS compared to Mr. Joe Uezato, who beat IFBB Pro YS, I think IFBB Pro YS has a better midsection, has a smaller waist, better lines. Is it just me, or does Joe Uezato's waist look a little bit bigger than IFBB Pro YS? When you look at the abs, who do we like here? I think the shreddedness and the hardness, I'm going to give it to Joe all day long. But again, the waist, I'm probably going to give the YS. As far as pecs, this one's close, man. This one's super close. But again, IFBB Pro YS, I like the sheen a lot more on his upper body. The chest looks a little bit fuller. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of how Joe Uezato poses. He leaves that arm really high up. And last week I talked about it. I thought he was bringing it down and it was just a photo that caught him halfway down. But he leaves that thing almost pretty far out, like a side lateral. Very close matchup from the front. If I was going to pick out which shorts I like the most, as much as I think the pink looks great on IFBB Pro YS, I got to give it to Joe Uezato with the black and the red flames all day long. But let me know what you guys think of this front shot. Who do you actually have winning it from the front? From the back, a little bit different story. If you're just tuning in, we're looking at the 2023 Japan Pro, it was an insane show, got won by an amateur. That never freaking happens ever. I'm telling you, it will not happen this year in the men's physique division. If it does happen, you guys better let me know right away so I can do a video about it. Now, when we look at the back of these guys, I look at shape all day long. Like, shape comes first to me with the back because both these guys have a lot of muscle. They both look pretty even when it comes to like muscle and density and even roundness. But when it comes to shape, I got to give it to Joe Uezato on the right. Just a better V-taper, just a prettier V-taper. I just like it more. I think it just has a better flow. If these two photos were silhouettes, Joe Uezato with the red flames, the red and white flames and the black shorts, I think he has a better overall back. But I like IFBB Pro YS's back, especially for being Asian. You guys know typically a lot of these Asian pros, aesthetic as hell, beautiful from the front, amazing six-pack, tight little core, tiny waist, broad shoulders, everything looks good, and they turn around and they typically lack a little bit of that muscularity from the back. But both these guys And obviously, they're not standing next to, you know, the top Olympians in the world with the best backs, but just next to each other, both of these guys have solid backs, especially for being Asian. So good on both of these guys. Who do you guys like? I think the traps, the middle of the back is a lot thicker on IFBB Pro YS, but something happens with his lats and his waist that doesn't give him such a pretty shape like Joe Uezato. Rear delt's about the same, arms are about the same. From the back, the waist looks just about the same. From the front, it was interesting. IFBB Pro YS posed, I think, a little bit better, hid the waist more. The waist looks smaller, but from here, the waist looks about the same. Calves, pretty decent on both guys. I don't know how tall or how much these guys weigh, but if I had to guess, I'm about 6'2", 200 pounds. They're probably pretty short guys. A lot of these IFBB pros I've met, man, probably over 50 IFBB Pro, even Olympians by now. A lot of these guys are a lot smaller than you think. It's rare that you find someone who's like actually tall and big at the same time. Another standout from that show, man, and I want to start talking about guys that I don't normally talk about. Usually I talk about like the top 10 in the world every single video, but what about this guy, Junpei Taguchi out of Japan? Another incredible talent, and the best body part on this guy that I got to tell you guys about is that midsection. Look at those abs. I mean, this guy looks great. I truly believe when these judges are judging all these guys, they're looking at these guys from head to toe, and they're looking at everything. They're looking at the haircut, they're looking at the smile, the stage presence, all that comes into play. And this guy looks fantastic. From the back, a solid back, right? It's not a terrible back. Could it be a lot better? Of course it can. But from the front, I mean, if the judges are going to continue picking aesthetics, can we please get this guy placing higher? Junpei Taguchi, an IFBB Pro in the men's physique division. I think he got like 6th place at the Japan Pro. Check out this Olympia amateur competitor, a South American mass monster. I say mass monster from South America because I don't know what country he's from, but this is Germano or Victor Germano. And I believe this guy is still an amateur. And look how massive this guy is. I mean, he's massive, but he does kind of have a tight waist. I mean, there's a lot of NPC guys. There's a lot of amateurs that watch my channel. If you're an amateur out there, or even a pro, and you're looking at this guy, would you not say this guy is overly developed in the upper body for men's physique? This guy is massive. And look at the calves down below. Holy shit. A nice back as well. Just crazy. It's just crazy seeing these physiques coming out of nowhere and beating these top Olympians. It's not Victor, but there's another guy I'm going to talk about in a second, man. Here's Victor outside. What do you guys think? Look, I just can't get over the calves. If I'm being honest with you, the calves are the freakiest part on Victor Germano. Look at this back. Tiny waist, super long torso creates this weird illusion of him having probably even a better back than what he actually has. Nice six-pack. Just a crazy video of him outside. Kind of wanted to show you what he looks like out from the stage. I think his biggest issue is, check this out, man. Victor Germano in 2009, I think he was 15 years old here compared to now. What a transformation. The genetics. I mean, this is men's physique, man. Look at this. If you didn't look like this at 15 years old, you're fucking behind. You're not behind, but Jesus Christ, look at these genetics, dude. Like, this is natural at 15 years old, enhanced at whatever age he is now, and it's just incredible. Men's physique, bodybuilding, guys, it's all genetic. It really is. Yes, hard work comes into play, but you can't build this without genetics. You can work hard, you can eat right, you can sleep good, you can do PEDs, but if you don't have genetics, you're not going to look like Victor Germano. Where's my guy Victor Germano from? I know he's South America. I believe he's still an amateur. He doesn't have IFBB Pro in his name. And you know, as a pro, when you turn pro, especially in the men's physique division, you change that Instagram handle right away. Here's the last video of him. Looks like in the locker room after the workout. His biggest thing, man, is to keep that waist small. He may have to start using a waist trainer because his midsection is extremely developed when it comes to his obliques and his abs. Oftentimes, I see guys over the years, it just turns into a negative body part for them because it just blows out of proportion. It gets too big. Everything gets big. Shoulders, pecs, abs, everything. A little too big, you lose your shape. But Victor Germano, out of wherever. Holy shit. 2023 Taiwan Pro. I feel like I covered the Japan Pro, Joven Segabon one a few months ago, and then I just covered it again, and now I'm looking at the Taiwan Pro, which I swear I covered in 2023. IFBB Pro YS actually won that, and now I'm looking at this here. And check this out. This is crazy, man. This was the newest, I guess, the 2023 Taiwan Pro. First place, Farouk Ishimoto. I believe he's out of Japan, just competing in the Japan Pro. Second place, and this is the huge story that no one's going to talk about. A lot of these Instagram businesses that rep men's physique news, men's physique update, a lot of them are just going to post photos and not really talk about what's the interesting part about this show. And with the Taiwan Pro, Farouk Ishimoto beat second place Bong Seok Choi, who is a 3-time Olympian. Bong Seok Choi is one of the top, probably one of the most successful Asian Olympians that doesn't reside in the United States, in the world. And he just got taken down by Farouk Ishimoto. Huge story. Tough loss for Bong Seok Choi. You know that guy is hurting. Because before this video, did all of you guys know about Farouk Ishimoto? I know I did not. Third place, Lovepreet out of India. Huge placing for India. Anytime an Indian athlete gets in the top 5 at a show that is not inside of India is a massive accomplishment. Third place, Lovepreet. Congratulations. Fourth place, we had Isaac. That's just his name on Instagram. It's just Isaac. And then fifth place, we had Junpei. Just talked about Junpei. He was the Japanese guy with the incredible set of abs. This was your 2023, your second 2023 Taiwan Pro with your winner, IFBB Pro Farouk Ishimoto. And we're going to break these guys down in a little bit more detail. How about this guy, Farouk? Who is this man? Let's check him out. This isn't a video from the 2023 Taiwan Pro. This was a few months prior, but let's check out this physique right away. When I was looking at this last night, crazy hardness, crazy conditioning throughout the midsection. Maybe not the best angle to show how full his chest is. Maybe a little bit shallow on the chest. You guys kind of see how that goes in a little bit, but it could be the angle. That's why I never want to say anything definitely, because check him out here when he does his little Ventura step, striations, the top chest, everything looks full, everything looks good from the back. Decent back. I mean, I think what it comes down to, man, is stage presence, conditioning. Got to have that fullness, right? The muscle has to pop. And then just overall balance. Do you have a beautiful shape? Do you have aesthetics? I think aesthetics should stand out. I think they do stand out. Of just to the human eye, just to the primal human eye, I think aesthetics should always win. But of course, they need to be paired with conditioning. They need to be paired with balance. They need to be paired with stage presence. All of that adds up. Here's another video from about a year ago of our winner of the 2023 Taiwan Pro, Mr. Ishimoto. Again, crazy hardness throughout the midsection. The Anavar is in play here. The Mastrone is working on overtime. Guy looks incredible. Yes, all these guys are on drugs. If you can't get over that, you should probably turn off the channel. It is what it is. These guys use steroids. It's the name of the game. But you can't use steroids and look like this guy. You got to be different. Is Farouk the next big thing? Someone asked me that the other day. Hart McGrath, is Farouk the next big thing? He just took down one of the best Asian Olympians in the world. He's never won a pro show. Honestly, guys, I don't think so. What is the next big thing? Next big thing to me is a guy who can win a pro show and slip in the top 10 at the Olympia or slip in at the top 5 at the Mr. Olympia. That's the next big thing. So many times do I hear guys winning shows and everyone cheering them on, which is great, and everyone telling them they're going to be top 10, and they start believing it. And then before you know it, they have a lot of yes man next to them. A lot of people who don't have any critiques for their physique, don't have any, words of advice of how they could get better. Guys, I've seen this with my own eyes in my hometown with an Olympian that I know, which I will not name any names, but if you don't have a coach and a circle around you that is still picking out critiques in your physique, that is still trying to make you better, that isn't stepping back and just saying, dude, you look perfect, you're not going to go far. So is Farouk the next big thing? Hopefully, right? Always cheering for these guys, but you guys know how competitive this shit is. My first experience with Erin Banks. We were in Salt Lake City, Utah. I was with my girl. We're walking into the showroom, getting ready to see all these guys on stage, and someone kind of nudges me and I look over, and it's Aaron Banks. I've been talking about Aaron, for a few months before he bumped me in Salt Lake City. I was saying, hey, second place at Houston Pro. He's coming into the Wasatch Warrior. Who is this guy? I was talking about it on my YouTube. He finds me in person at the show, bumps me, says, hey, Hart, I think I got this one. I watched that show, and I watched a guy at I think it was his second pro show, get second place to Corey Morris. And the rest is history. You guys know what happened after that. What's next for Aaron Banks, man? He says 3 years down, year 3 down. 2 men's physique Arnold's and 1 men's physique Mr. Olympia, and 2 in 1 year. We're just warming up. I just talked about what or who's the next big thing. Who's the next big athlete that's going to just shake up everything? As far as I'm concerned, a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. Aaron Banks is still the next big thing. The guy won a Mr. Olympia and 2 Arnold Classics in a year. A Mr. Olympia and 2 Arnold Classics in a year. He's been competing for 3 years, and we're not going to talk about Aaron Banks as still possibly becoming the greatest of all time. Even if I don't agree with Aaron's decisions or how he may conduct himself as a person, we have to admit facts are facts. Not even Brandon, not even Terry, not even Blaine Dia. You saw what happened with Blaine Dia this year. The shit has changed. Aaron Banks was off for this Mr. Olympia. That was not the best Aaron Banks. The guy still got 3rd in the world. He's won an Olympia title. He's won 2 Arnold Classics. And he says, I'm just warming up. Aaron Banks can still become the greatest of all time. In fact, he's on pace to do that. He is on pace to be the greatest ever. For Aaron now, he has to lock in. Now for Aaron, it's a mental game. Physically, we already understand. He already understands. His coach Cuts already understands how great he is. The potential of Aaron Banks. He's won the Mr. Olympia in his first 2 years. He's always in the top 3 at the Olympia in the last 3 years he's competed. He's won 1, he's got 2nd, and now he's got 3rd. But now it's all about a mental game. How great of an offseason can Aaron have? And when will we see him back on stage? Because the next show that Aaron does, I believe it's going to be the Olympia. Crazy amount of pressure on Aaron. I wish he would compete in a regular season show, because the last regular season normal show he competed in, what happened? Kyron Holden beat him. Then he goes to Olympia and gets 3rd. So what's next for Aaron Banks? I don't know. I'll be paying attention to his Instagram, maybe his YouTube, but let's see what happens with Aaron, his decisions, and his physique over the next few months. Another amazing, phenomenal, legendary Olympian got beat this weekend. Diogo Montenegro, who, what did he get this year? 5th in the world at the Olympia, but in 2022 and 2021, we saw Diogo get 3rd in the world. Diogo loses another pro show. I have so much respect for Diogo, guys. So much respect. This is a guy that has been competing in the men's physique division for, 10 years? I mean, he's an OG. He's been doing it for so long. And actually, just recently, back in 2021, was his first time ever in the top 10 getting 3rd place. So Diogo competed for years, guys, and he was never in that top 5. And over the last 3 years, he's been in the top 5 3 times. But I do believe time is catching up to Diogo. I'm going to talk about the gentleman on the left, who is another guy who came out of absolutely nowhere to beat one of the best in the world. This was a muscle contest, another men's physique pro show down in South America, down in, I believe it was southern Brazil. And Diogo is losing. I mean, you can't be 5th in the world. You can't be 4th in the world, Charjo Grant, let's say, and be losing to guys that have never been to the Mr. Olympia. That does not look good in the judges' eyes, and that does not look good in my eyes. Time is catching up to Diogo, but let's take a peek and see what happened to Diogo, because surely something went wrong. No way 5th in the world just loses to somebody out of nowhere. Diogo says, this is Diogo Montenegro on that Brazilian heat, on that southern Brazilian weather. I had no idea it got that hot in Brazil. Check this out. He says post-competition post hit different today. I come to congratulate the champion of the night, KK Pro PHYSIQUE, a guy I only had the pleasure of meeting today. And on the day of the show, What a good heart. The guy was dedicated and with blood in his eyes for victory. So Diogo, after the show, came up to the winner who came out of nowhere, congratulated him, probably reminded him of a young guy like him, blood in his eyes, wants to be the Mr. Olympia one day. Gotta love Diogo. He's a great guy. Diogo says, talk about the competition. Okay, until I left my home, everything was perfect with my physique. This is what Diogo's saying. My coach, who is boss of Outlaw, Urs Kalinski's coach, says I were confident in presenting the best version of me, but when I arrived at the venue, despite being flawless, right, I started to have problems with the heat. I don't believe no one was expecting a 45-degree feel here in the South. 45 degrees Celsius is 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Holy shit. Imagine trying not to have that tan sweat down your chest, down the middle of your back in 113 degree weather. And I don't know if they have AC like we have AC here in the United States, man. Diogo says, from that, I started to have a bad time in the warm-up. When I got on stage, the shock was even greater because of the hot lighting. Oh my gosh. And I couldn't perform well. I couldn't contract well, and it became clear to everyone. Diogo finishes by saying, later it finally rained, cooled off a bit. I did the show I wish I'd done before. Again, everyone noticed the difference, and that way I was able to hold the top two. So that happens in men's physique, man. So many things can happen that can throw off your entire physique. For Diogo, this weekend down in southern Brazil, he's from Brazil. He understands the heat, but still, guys, your body is in a weak position. A few days out from a show, you're starving, right? You're on all this fucking drugs. Your body's going through it at 113-degree weather, and it can throw some stuff off. Diogo clearly did not show up how he should have during prejudging. He says it then cooled off. He went back up for finals, looked a lot better. He looked so much better. The crowd, the judges obviously understood, something must have happened with his physique. We saw a similar thing with Ryan Terry at the Pittsburgh Pro earlier this year with Corey Morris. Ryan Terry came out flat, looked pretty poor, honestly. Didn't even really look conditioned during this battle with Corey Morris, the Pittsburgh Pro, and then we saw him for finals. He filled up properly. It was a totally different guy, but by then, it was too late. Corey already won that show. A similar situation with Diogo Montenegro, it sounds. Here's your winner, man. I'll put up his name here. Absolutely incredible. Brazil. I talk about Asia all the time. I talk about India, but Brazil might be next up. Like, what country, what continent, what country is going to be the next country to start pushing out all these American guys on that men's physique stage? Dude, something with these Brazilian dudes, they take this shit so serious. It's crazy. Here's a cool video of him, probably hours before stepping on stage. The tan isn't on. So broad. You gotta be broad in men's physique, dude. If you're not broader than the guy next to you, you're fucking up. The broader you are, the smaller the waist you have, the better the illusion, the better the shape, the higher chance Hart McGrath has on talking about you. From the back, all these guys with like long torsos. Like, look at the torso. There's like no meat there, no fat there, and then just a fairly nice back. I mean, obviously this is a good back. This just beat 5th in the world, Diogo Montenegro. Is he at his max? Is he at his full potential, this guy? No, of course not. Of course not, man. Imagine in a few years. I mean, he's going to the 2024 Olympia. Let's see the progress that my man can make over the next, year. Because if you qualify now in men's physique, the Olympia is in a year. I mean, the option is yours. You can just have a 10-month off season. You can compete all year round knowing that you're still going to the Olympia. There's a lot of good in winning a pro show early in the year. A lot of good. That's going to do it for the video. You guys let me know what you think. What do you guys think about that matchup? IFBB Pro YS versus Joe Uezato. Didn't that look a little bit closer than it seemed to be? Who would you have winning that show? And then Victor Germano, another South American. Don't tell me he's from Brazil. If someone comments down below he's from Brazil, I'm going to lose my mind. The Brazilian talent is nuts. Is nuts, bro. Erin Banks. What's next for Erin? How do you guys view Erin now a couple months after the 2023 Olympia? Has your view on him changed? Mr. Ishimoto, who won the 2023 Taiwan Pro, congratulations, took down Bong Seok Choi, a top men's physique Asian Olympian. Just crazy stuff. Diogo falling short, fucking up because of the weather. So much can go wrong, but what you guys did right this morning was tuned into the video. I love you guys tons. Happy Monday. Life has been good over here. Just trying to enjoy life a little bit more with the girl, go outside more. Yeah, man, if you guys are interested in Huge, so many amazing products on their website. You guys can use my code HEART. If you're low on any supplement in your cupboard, in your cabinet right now, in your drawer, go check out what you're low on. Go check out Huge's website and use my code. Find something you like. Find something that's going to aid your bodybuilding journey, because there's a lot of supplements on there that will. You guys know I make zero money from these videos. If you're interested in the Patreon supporting more, it's kind of like being a channel member. I put your name in the credits of my video. It's $5 a month. Tremendously helps the channel stay alive and keep pumping. And then coaching. If you guys are interested in coaching, want to step on stage sometime next year, want to lose 50 pounds of fat and just feel yourself again, I'm here for you. Instagram is in the back. I love you guys. I'll hopefully see you Thursday. I'm out.